Hey, it's the Tuesday show. I'm Ultra David.
And I'm James Chen. How's everybody going? Why do you have such a smile on your face?
Because all I've been able to do for the last several hours, since like 10 a.m., is smile because it's the Tuesday show.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Because Dhalsim has been announced for Street Fighter V.
That is correct. He was just announced, and frankly, he looks pretty ridiculous.
He looks sick. All right, he looks awesome.
Really, really good.
Dhalsim in Street Fighter V looks awesome. First of all, literally looks awesome.
Dude, the character change, like the art design, just the general design of him is really cool now.
It's so good.
It's the most interesting Dhalsim has ever been.
That very well could be. Yeah. So I love how he looks.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, he looks like he has very interesting tools.
Dude.
Like, they gave him some interesting ideas.
You know what the best thing about it is? Someone, I think, tweeted you about this who said it exactly right. They said, they made it so Dhalsim can handle all the anti-fireball stuff because his fireball doesn't go straight anymore.
Yeah, notice the two characters who I think have the best chance at being zoners, Dhalsim and Rashid. Neither one of their projectiles goes forward like a normal fireball. They're both kind of these weird angles.
Yeah.
And then maybe the other one in Ryu, Denjin Ryu, is like super fast, charges up. Like, so they all three of those have like some thing about their projectile that's weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Look, I said it before. I didn't want Dhalsim, right?
Yeah.
I did not want Dhalsim, but I said that my only hope was that if Dhalsim showed up in the game, that they would do something to him to make him interesting. And I felt like they succeeded.
Yeah? Okay.
Because he actually looks really sick to me. He actually looks... And in fact, I'm not even sure if he's going to be the zoner where he just sits there and hits you with buttons like that. He looks like he can be a totally... Because the thing about it is... Think about how Dhalsim used to play.
Yeah.
He controlled the horizontal with the fireball and had to really work on the anti-air.
Sure.
Now if he can throw this fireball into the air, the fireball's controlling the air, and now he has to really control the ground. They've almost kind of reversed him now, and I think that's really fascinating because now when he throws the fireball, the opponent can try to get in from the front. You see what I'm saying? It's like completely backwards of how Dhalsim used to work.
Okay.
And I don't know, something about that's kind of neat.
That's awesome.
So like he had these punches that hit up in the air. Like everyone's like, dude, he's got anti-air. That might not even be that important. Maybe what he really needs is better standing strongs, and that's what we didn't see in the trailer.
We saw standing strong in the trailer.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
There was no far fierce.
Right.
The only button that looked like it might have been fierce was the anti-air.
Right.
That might have been fierce, and then there's probably down back fierce, but those are the only two.
Right.
There wasn't like a horizontal far fierce.
Yeah.
There was like a strong and maybe a short or medium kick.
Yeah, I don't know. He looks really sick and interesting, and even to the point where he can throw out. Or we're gonna watch the video, guys. So don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. But he can throw with his V trigger. He can throw out that flame carpet, which it looks like it hits when he throws it out.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't hit, then it stays there.
Yeah.
But it's such a neat idea because the fireball controls the air and he leaves the ground now. The flame carpet is there and it doesn't impede you on the ground. It just does damage while you're on it.
It does white damage.
Right.
It does potential damage.
Which is really cool.
I feel like he's kind of Conra. Isn't that weird?
You know what? Someone else actually said that. Yeah.
He's about potential damage now. Ever since the White Life mechanic was announced.
Oh, shout outs to Liquid Gold. Thank you very much.
Haven't people been saying, I've been saying it, other Dhalsim fans have as well, that he would fit because his normals would take off White Life. And so now harassing with whatever horizontal buttons is more important because the opponent could lose White Life, eventually get hit for a lot more damage than one stand fierce. Yeah. Right?
Go ahead.
So they built him off that.
Yeah.
Like he seems like that's the design, is taking advantage of White Life. That's how the V trigger works. That's how his buttons probably work. Super cool to have that sort of a design in the game, even if he's not like a stay-at-home zoner. That idea, the sort of sniping off potential damage and then taking it off a bunch off at once, is really interesting to me.
What's actually kind of cool about you saying that though is that Logan Sama, aka Winner Stays On, from Europe. You guys probably know him. He does a lot of commentary with F Word at a lot of the Capcom premiere events and a lot of Capcom events in general. He said that he had a conversation with Combo Fiend at Milan Games. And Logan's been kind of vocal about his concerns about Street Fighter V and such. And he actually said after a long conversation with Combo Fiend, he felt better about it. And one of the things Peter talked to him about was it's about that potential damage, about building up that white life and then hitting them and draining that. And you have to kind of look at it that way, which is you don't get the reward right away, but if your pressure is really strong and then you hit them, you get a greater reward.
Sick.
So you're right. That might just be exactly how they were thinking about designing Dhalsim.
Yeah.
100% have been what they had in mind with him.
That's cool. It definitely seems like it. But yeah, you brought up, will he be a defensive zoner or will he not? He might not be. He might be like, old school Dhalsim was not just a defensive zoner, right? He could zone, but he sort of offensively zoned, right? Like he was moving forward, sliding forward, drilling forward to get to a better range. Oftentimes he wanted a corner. In many matchups in ST, he wants to corner the opponent.
Yeah.
But he didn't play like that in 4 at all, obviously. Didn't in CVS 2. It's been a while. I'd love to see a return to that. I think that'd be really interesting. Yeah. But I guess we'll see how it plays out.
I mean, I joked that in the trailer he looked like a Super Rushdown character. But that's obviously they need to make him look exciting for the trailer. So exactly. Who knows, right? So, but, if his drills are decent... because it's kind of interesting. If you think about it, if the fireball controls the air and his drills are decent and his V skill takes him from the ground into the air and flies.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can activate the V skill while you're in the air. Can you? Did it say that?
Yeah, I believe you can.
Oh, you can. Okay, okay. But he flies. It sounds like he's so much more aerial. You know what I mean? Like,
it does.
It sounds like whenever... So a lot of people... who aren't familiar with Street Fighter don't picture Street Fighter this way, but a lot of people have been playing fighting games for a very long time. They see the screen and they just see this big giant red danger zone and they see green zones, which is basically at this range I'm better off, so I want to get into these green zone ranges, etc., etc. Dhalsim used to pretty much be this giant red zone, like right here outside of Standing Fierce, like inside of Standing Fierce range, and up here was this giant green zone because this is where you wanted to get. Now I feel like they've just flipped it around, and now the air is Dhalsim's giant red zone, and the green zone is on the bottom.
Could be.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. Something about it seems really fascinating.
It really is fascinating. Well, do you want to check out the trailer?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the trailer. Let's make sure to not have any audio on that, and so we don't get striked.
Let's do it once. Oh, you just want
to get copyright strike.
Okay, fine. So do you want to watch it through the first time?
Yeah, let's just watch it through.
With patented James Chen sound effects?
Do what you gotta do, man.
Okay. So here we go. Rated T for teen.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
Dum dum.
No, it's like it starts at about 45.
Cafe Eliza, did you see that?
I did.
Yeah, okay. Hadouken! Hi! Psycho Crusher! And then I don't even know what he says there. They all don't make noise at this point. Finish!
Is that what she says?
I think.
Who cares?
Ora!
Yeah, that's probably right.
Devour our.
Oh god, that's the worst. The worst. I'll totally make this look cool.
Corkscrew blow! And awesome Zangief. Okay, here we go. New challenger. Dhalsim.
Yes.
Look at this beard and the turban. Oh, there's the stand strong.
Yep.
Interesting looking throw.
Yep. Drill.
That drill really did look like it had delay, by the way.
Yep, it did.
Doesn't look like he has Yoga Sniper anymore.
No, it doesn't.
That's tricky little flight there.
Yeah, that's V skill.
Yeah.
Look at that fireball. Oh, James, when I saw that, I can't even tell you my reaction.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Because it might have been similar to mine, because I was pretty excited about that too. Now, it's interesting. The only time I've seen the Yoga Flame look like it was an EX. See? That looks like an EX, and that looks like an EX.
Yeah, you're right.
I wonder if he even has Yoga Flame.
I wonder. That's a good question. All right, then he throws out the sun and then comes in.
Yeah. Street Fighter 5. Alright.
I'll totally make this look cool.
Dude, that's such an awesome intro. He just flies in like that.
All right, give me...
This, you know what this looks like? Do you want me to do slow motion?
Yeah, I was going to say 50%.
Okay. Yeah. You know what that actually looked like to me? That looks like in the Street Fighter 4 animated movie, Dhalsim, like, doesn't he float in or something like that? He just kind of like flies around in the yoga position. I kind of remember that, so... Here comes a new challenger! Here we go. Flying in... Magic carpet ride. Magic carpet ride.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Dhalsim stretching in there.
Cool. Look at him. Oh, he's so old.
Dude, check him out, dude. And it's a gray beard, too.
I know, it's so sick. Now, this is stand strong, most likely. And that controls not as far as like a far stand fierce in 4, so you might be right about this not so good on the ground daily. And then there's a button that might be stand short or stand medium kick after that. Not sure which one.
It looks like a stand short because it's a low hit, but maybe they changed forward to do that. With this game, you never know.
I mean, previously stand forward in CVS2 and ST and all that was like a 45-degree angle, but then in 4 it's almost horizontal. So they changed it already. Anyway, we'll see which one it is. And his slide looks like it recovers quite quickly, which is happy times.
Check this out. That's almost kind of like the Yoga Shangri-La, but now just horizontal and one hit.
That's true.
Dude, do you see his neutral stance? Check out his neutral stance.
Okay, I didn't.
How much cooler is this neutral stance than before?
Oh, yeah, he looks cool.
Dude, check him out.
He looks more like Alpha.
Yeah,
like
he does look
sort of Alpha stance.
But it's just, it's so much more, like, it's more dramatic. You know, it's really interesting because, you know, I talked about this with Vega. Vega went from stabby boy to actually graceful guy. Yeah. And it feels like they're kind of doing the same kind of concept with Dhalsim here.
Yeah.
And then, see ya.
So I'm not sure whether that's actually safe because that doesn't look like a reversal pile driver to me. And SPD isn't that fast.
Oh, dude, you see Zangief, dude?
Huh.
Deer in headlight syndrome. Well, that's the last one.
Yeah.
Watch, he hits him here. Oh, no, he didn't. Look, Dhalsim. Oh, he just stands there. Yeah. They didn't even try to make it look like he was doing anything.
that was not a combo.
Yeah.
And you're right. Looks like Sniper is gone.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So, interesting alpha counter. But what's interesting about that alpha counter, that V reversal, is look how far it maybe you might be able to reach.
Okay.
It's a decent distance. So
okay,
maybe you might be able to V reversal, like tip a fireball hands over here or something like that.
That would be cool.
So, pow, there we go. So, the first instance of his V skill, oh yeah, you're right, activated in the air.
Yep.
And now he turns Yoga white.
And he can do apparently any of his air actions, including special moves, in the air. So here's the V skill from the ground.
Right.
That looks to me like it is Yoga Tower.
Except he actually leaves the floor.
Because he leaves Zangief's bear grab. Like that's what he's getting away from in that little clip.
Oops, went back a little too far.
Yeah, that's cool. Shoutouts to Sim for having a great breakdown on Dhalsim. I noticed some stuff, including this that I didn't before. You see how he just gets out of it.
Right,
so
yeah.
It might be throw startup invincible, maybe low invincible.
And check out that little jumping kick that he did there. You see that?
Yeah.
That really far straight down jumping kick.
And that might be a really important kick, actually, if he is meant to be in the air.
I didn't even notice that. Did you see his hand pose when he shoots that fireball?
Yeah.
Dude, that's so sick.
It's cool, right?
Dude, he's like...
It's pretty sick.
Dude, that's so awesome looking. Pew! And Zangief's like, oh, I ran out of armor, pow. Oh, that's a chop, maybe. I wonder if that's neutral jump fierce or something like that, but it's a big old chop. Do you see it?
Yeah, that's like
so
jump
here
fierce.
we go. So this is his V trigger. You see, if it doesn't hit him, then it just sets Zangief on fire here.
Right.
Because he's glowing a little red, glowing red again, get caught on fire again.
Exactly, yeah.
Here's that flight, and he teleported right out of it.
Get dunked, Geef.
Yeah, and he does that chop again.
I wonder if that really is a combo from that height. I hope so.
But see, this just looks like EX Fireball. I don't even think that's Yoga Flame.
Oh, go back to it then?
I don't even think that's Yoga Flame because Dhalsim glows orange when he does it.
Oh,
see?
Dude, you think Flame is EX Fireball?
I don't even think he has Yoga Flame anymore. I think they finally just said, you know what, screw it. Fireball. Yoga Flame is just EX Fireball.
So I was wondering whether maybe the thing that looks like fire is actually Upblast. Like maybe it's the new Upblast. But yeah, you could be right. Yours sounds a little bit more.
Because he never throws a ground fireball. I think it's just gone here. Oh,
so that normal looks ridiculous.
And it's cancelable.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even think I noticed that. Jeez.
Well, go back earlier too. There was a Crouching Strong that he canceled. That was like Necro Crouching Strong from Third Strike.
Oh, really?
But he canceled it. Like
the
Necro
upward one?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
It was earlier.
Okay.
That button, Necro Crouching Strong, is like one of the sickest anti-airs ever.
Someone said he did regular flame earlier.
Oh, did they?
So...
It starts at like 45.
Okay, let me see.
That's when Sim starts.
Okay. So I'll put this at normal speed. Did he do a yoga flame earlier?
Might be coming up here.
Might be part of a combo or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's
there
the flame.
You go.
Right.
So
Okay.
That definitely is flame there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You're right.
Okay.
Good call. Okay, but just, so go back to slow mode, but let it run here.
Right. But the reason why I thought that EX is because he puts his hand at his mouth again when he does that, the up and down flame, right? So it looks like a fireball. He has the fireball pose where it looks like the yoga flame is the standard yoga flame pose.
Yeah.
Like that,
Oh,
right?
he still does the hand thing.
Oh, yeah, I guess he does. Okay, he still does the hand thing, so, okay. All right, let's jump forward again.
Wait, hold on, no, go back.
Oh, okay.
Back more.
To this one?
Yeah, I just wanted to see that down strong again, because it's like something, it's coming up soon, I think. I don't remember exactly when. Suit. Okay, yeah, I think this is where it happens.
Oh, the V trigger, right? Yeah.
So watch. Yes, look at that button. My god, that button's anti-air is so sick, and it's cancelable. Unbelievable.
Oh man.
Wait, actually, go back a little bit. I didn't notice this before, but the start of that V skill looks like he's moving forward rather than just straight up.
I think you can probably hold left or right when you do it. Maybe.
Yeah, that might be.
He can go left. He can go either direction.
That might be what it is. Yeah. He definitely went forward there.
Yeah.
Cool.
That looks like back forward as usual. Now here's a question: do you think they're gonna make him so that he has back and forward moves? Because you know how they're trying to simplify the characters a lot. I wonder if he just has short range buttons and long range buttons. What if that back forward is just actually stand short now or something like that? I don't know.
It could be.
I don't know. That's just total theory. There's absolutely no basis of that whatsoever. But boom!
God, that button is so good looking. Oh, there's a ground one.
What, a ground what?
A ground fire.
Let me see.
It's the EX, so
it's
the EX one.
Oh, maybe only EX fire is grounded.
Okay.
Well, that'd be so weird.
Okay, I like it.
Interesting.
I like it. Yeah, there are command normals already, so I assume that Dhalsim does have forward and back normals. Like usual.
Oh yeah, that looks like back strong there. V trigger.
It looks like back strong, but the fact that it combos into V trigger makes me think that like maybe it's back fierce.
Right. Oh, that was like a down back fierce.
Yeah, I'm sure that was down back fierce.
Yeah. So I guess that is EX Yoga Flame then. And then he has an air EX Yoga Flame? Or was that just regular Yoga Flame? Did he glow red there?
Yeah, he did.
He did?
He did. And then he definitely jumps up. It's not like a continuation of the previous move.
So does he have an air Yoga Flame?
Oh, I really hope so.
Dude, that's
like a regular air Yoga Flame would be so cool.
Did you see that throw? That throw was so sick looking.
It is cool, yeah. And then this, Oro's big old booger, but it starts from higher up. It's gonna have to be used differently than this, because look at Geef. He does not do any kind of fast wake up, and then he just hangs out. Like, he definitely could have moved out of the way of this thing. See him walk into it. So I don't think that it's gonna be useful in that kind of a situation, but I'm sure we'll find cool setups for it. And you know, since it's super, maybe you can do something cool like Yoga Fire cancel into super.
Oh yeah.
And
there
like
you go.
here comes, you know, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, but he looks really sick.
Yeah, he really does. He really does.
I'm not gonna lie, he looks really, really cool.
I'm really happy with how he looks. I was expecting interesting stuff because that's how most of the characters have been. And even when I expected boring stuff, like I expected like V skill for Geef to be banishing flat, you know what I mean? But it ended up being really interesting instead. So I expected interesting stuff out of Sim, and they definitely delivered. I really think that he's one of the more interesting looking characters. Even, I mean, obviously I'm biased because I like that playstyle.
Right.
But I feel like he's just one of the more interesting characters in general.
Dude,
right?
You're not the only... Everyone's been like, oh my god, Dhalsim looks so sick. I want to play Dhalsim.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because when I first was reading Twitter and I was like, oh, Dhalsim got revealed. I need to go watch his video before I watch the video, right? I just kept thinking to myself, why would you save Dhalsim to second to last? That seems like such a mistake. Like, because who's really all waiting
boring
for Dhalsim, right? Like, nobody really likes Dhalsim. Then I saw the video, I'm like, maybe that's why. Because he's actually so vastly different than he used to be. You know, so I don't know. Look, everyone knows I hate Dhalsim, right? And I just don't like that kind of character in the first place. But he looks really sick. He looks kind of fun.
Yeah, he really does. Oh man, I can't wait to lab him up. He looks like such a Lab Monsters character.
Yeah,
he really does.
It's so funny too, because like Olaf, Olaf Redland, right? He first thing I saw him tweet was like, dude, how is Armika gonna like fight this character? Like, this is gonna be a hard fight for Armika. And I was like, you'd better make sure you make your Nadeshko count.
Oh yeah.
You'd better make sure Nadeshko counts, because otherwise, that's gonna be a rough match. So.
But if he controls the air better than the ground, and she has something like stand roundhouse charge, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see.
That's true.
You know what? He can probably V-trigger on reaction to her stand roundhouse.
Oh, just like
everybody else can.
V-trigger it. Yeah.
No, you're right.
V-skill.
Yeah, V-skill.
Okay.
Everybody can V-skill in reaction to that thing. It's, I don't know. Anyway, that's Dhalsim. I think I'm really excited for him. I can't wait to play him at Canada Cup, where he will be this weekend. As announced by Lord Hans.
Yeah. I mean, is that... Because every time they bring the game to the latest venue, it has everybody on it. So does that mean everybody's going to be there except for one character? Is there really going to be 15 characters in this build at Canada?
It might be. It might be.
So sick.
When at SCR, it had all of the playable characters up until that point.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All the way through Karen, right? Or
Karen, Geef, Laura.
Oh yeah.
They were all there. They were all there. Yeah. So expect cool stuff at Canada Cup if you're going. And it's still Paris Games Week, so expect footage out of there as well, where he is playable as well.
Right. Now, before we go on, because there was a lot more Street Fighter V news announced along with Dhalsim.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, it makes me so sad right now because Zangief looks really neat. Right? We've both said how much we like him. Dhalsim looks cool.
Fact.
Vega, like I said, just so different. He's just really cool. Like,
so cool.
Nash, like, he might not be necessarily the most exciting character, but he doesn't play like Nash or Guile.
Right, very different.
They completely changed him, right? They, like, even Ken kind of feels a little different with, like, the up hurricane. And,
right.
Like, they did all these interesting things, right?
Who's the boring one? Who's the boring one, James?
God, it's so frustrating to see Cammy so boring. Like, you don't understand. Like, it's almost so obvious now that they want her to be the beginner character, the basic character. But the worst thing about it is that someone was even telling... I barely played her in the beta. We messed with her for a tiny bit, and we found out she can't even do Tiger Knee, EX Cannon Strike anymore.
Yeah.
And... she lost all of her combos. Everyone says that she lost all of her combos. So, like, literally she has nothing right now.
That might have just been in that beta during that version. It seemed like most of the returning characters were nerfed in that version.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's going to stay. That might be during the balancing process.
Right.
But even when she was fun, better, whatever, before that, she's super vanilla compared to...
Right. Well, here's the thing, right? Cast. No one should interpret what I'm saying as that she's not a good character.
Yeah, right.
I think she's passable.
She might be good. I mean, she seems to have good buttons and movement.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, the thing that's going to make her good is her walk speed.
Yeah, her movement looks really good.
But Jesus, there's just nothing interesting about that character.
Totally agree.
Her V skill is super boring. Her V trigger is super boring. Her hooligan's not going to work.
Nope.
it's not going to work long term. Everyone's just going to jab you out of that thing. You know what I mean? Unless you can throw them when they try to jab you or something like that. But good luck with that. So, I don't know, dude. Like, it's so frustrating to see. Because even Ryu is kind of interesting. Yeah. A lot of people said Chun-Li seems boring, too. Like, very, very straightforward. But
I don't know about that.
I actually found a lot of good things. I actually found out, I felt like she was more offensive than she was in past games and such. So, I actually kind of like Chun-Li, you know?
Yeah.
But, man, Cammy is like it hurts me to know out of all the 15 characters right now, she's the least interesting to me right now.
I don't know how she could not be. I don't know who looks at those 15 characters without people who, I mean, people like you obviously like the character. Okay,
right.
Character aside, in terms of gameplay, does anybody think that she is one of the more interesting characters out of the 15? Does anybody think that?
Everybody that I've talked to says she looks boring.
Yeah.
Like, everybody I've talked to. And just, like, randomly, I won't even solicit it out of them. They'll just be like, Cammy looks boring. Like Derek Daniels, right? He just tweeted out earlier, remember, he said Cammy and Zangief look boring.
Yeah.
I don't agree with Zangief.
Yeah.
Because Air SPD is the best thing ever.
But he said Air SPD is pretty sick, yeah.
But he was like, Cammy's boring. And I was like, yep.
Everybody in chat's agreeing with us.
Yeah.
Cammy, boring.
Yeah. You know what I keep saying? Like, here's the problem. I think one of the ways to make Cammy super interesting in this game would be if you really fleshed out the hooligan throw. Like, just let it grab crouchers, right?
Especially because so many characters have command grabs. So why don't you just make hers a command grab for real?
Now, here's the only problem with it, is that the game has no... So the reason why it worked in Super Turbo is because no one's throwable on Wake Up, right? And so... in this game, because in this game, Street Fighter 4, etc., everybody is throwable on Wake Up.
I mean, after like 2 frames.
Right, after like 2 frames. So if Cammy times a meaty hooligan throw, what are you supposed to do to escape that in this game? Unless you code it specifically that the hooligan throw can't throw people for 10 frames after they get up. Like, you would have to put in special code to say that. But if you let the hooligan grab crouchers, it doesn't work in all these later games, because then it ends up like Guy's Bushin throw in Alpha 1, which was the best move in the entire planet, because you couldn't crouch it, and he just Bushin... If you weren't, like, you had to be in the corner to fight him, because he couldn't Bushin throw you in the corner. Like, in Alpha 1, the way to fight Guy was to run to the corner and just never leave the corner, not even by a pixel. Because as soon as you left the corner by a pixel, you got Bushin thrown and you were dead. And so... you had to hide in the corner, and that was a problem, right? So that's the only problem. Like, I want to say make Cammy's hooligan throw grab crouchers, but I can't think of a good way to make it fair. You know, because otherwise, like Mika, she'd be dead. You just be like, whoop throw, whoop throw, whoop throw, and that's it.
I mean, you could just jump, presumably.
Oh, hold up, maybe.
Yeah,
that's true. Dude, Alpha 1 was not a good game.
No, I never played it seriously, but everything I've heard about it is that it was terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can just jump, right? Like any command grab.
Yeah.
But except for you can see hers coming. So I feel like it might not actually be very good on Wake Up.
See, that's the thing. That's the reason why, like, honestly, Zangief's bear grab is, like, faster than the hooligan throw, which is why I just don't even think it's that cheap to let it grab.
I agree. I totally
people.
agree.
So,
I think it should.
And then now, if you see that, then maybe the dive kick out of it can actually do something, because people will try to stand up and jab it, and then you dive kick.
It
just makes her game that much more interesting. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. And then just make her V-skill something. It's not the like every character that, like, let's invent new special moves. You've never seen these before.
Yeah.
Cammy, let's just turn her crappy spin knuckle.
Yeah. That's always
which
sucked.
has never been good. Which has sucked, and they've never been able to figure out what to do with that move.
Yeah.
Into her V skill.
Dude, I'm with you. It's boring.
Thanks.
It's boring. I wonder if maybe...
Oh, that's true. The hooligan does grab air people, too.
Oh, well, you can just code it differently so that
just make it so it can't grab air people.
Yeah, exactly. You just make it the opposite, right? So it grabs crouchers, not air people.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's not going to be like ST, you know?
Sorry. I mean, look, a lot of people know that I whine about Cammy. And in Street Fighter 4, I was definitely not as justified. But I feel like in this case here... I feel like I'm absolutely justified to be bitter right now.
Well, because here's the thing. You're not saying that she's not an effective character.
Right,
You're saying she is a boring character.
Yes.
In my view, same way in Street Fighter 4, Where effective, absolutely.
Yeah.
Interesting, no.
Right. So I 100% agree from AE on.
Yeah, after Tiger Knee Cannon Strike, yeah.
Because Tiger Knee Cannon Strike was unique.
Yeah.
She was a frontal pressure chip character with no overheads and no command throws. And she had the worst throw range. So it was just...
Right.
And her combos were always low short, low jab, stand jab, drill, which did no damage.
Exactly.
It was really kind of interesting how she was designed. And then as soon as they turned her into, hey, look, I can combo like everybody else, low jab into low strong, and I lost my Tiger Knee Cannon Strike, she became the Vortex monster. And
yeah, and then Sakura became... The new Tiger Knee Cannon Strike character.
Yep,
Whatever.
exactly. So, sorry.
No,
I mean, yeah, I know. I even told David ahead of time. I was like, "Can we talk about Dhalsim?" And then afterwards, can I cry about Cammy?
Do your thing. Do your thing.
Anyways, okay, moving on.
Okay.
Lots of good Street Fighter V news.
Okay.
They've revealed the release date.
Yes.
February 16th. Just in time for the Capcom Pro Tour to start at final round. Gives everybody about a month to play the game. No shock to me at all whatsoever. That is pretty much what I guessed.
Sure, I definitely expected it to come out before final round in March. And of course it was due by the end of March, right? They had already said that it was coming out then. So I thought it was a good bet, like early March, latest, or sorry, at the latest early March, maybe before then. Basically around the same time.
Right. So that's super cool.
Yeah, it is nice to actually get a confirmation of that. Absolutely.
And it's really interesting. So, okay, I was going to talk about one thing, but let me talk about another one because it leads to the third thing. They announced that during the course of 2016, there will be 6 more characters added to the roster. And they even sent out a little teaser pic with shadows. I mean, I'll put it up here, but there's really no point because everybody's guess on what the shadows were has been wildly different.
Yeah, come on, it's silly.
Yeah, and you can tell they purposely made it really vague. Like, they just killed all the detail in them.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like they just darkened it. They, specifically, they actually changed the details.
Yeah.
Well, they did a good job. They
did leave a few little items here and there.
That's
like,
true.
there was a kunai in one of them that looks like, okay, it's a Buki, right? So, but it's really interesting because, what they announced was that there are going to be those 6 characters, and then they said that you can get them all free. Of course, we all kind of knew this ahead of time. They talked about this at EVO in 2014, actually, wasn't it? Or was it this year, 2015?
I have no idea when that happened.
I can't remember now. No, obviously it was 2015 because we didn't know about Street Fighter V until Capcom Cup last year.
Oh, that's true.
God, it's been a weird year. Has it only been like a year?
Look, I'm always terrible with time, so I don't know.
But, we all knew that they were going to do that you can get them with in-game points or fight money, as they called it, right? The interesting part, though, is that they announced that they're going to give you daily goals that give you extra fight money. So on top of just playing and grinding it out and getting money, that every day when you go online, that they would have goals. So, for example, one of them, like, they gave some examples, and you can tell these are just total preliminary examples. Yeah. It was like, hit someone with 8 Hadoukens.
Yeah.
Like, land 5 SPDs or something like that, So these are probably just examples of it. What do you think of that?
I think it's really interesting, especially... So it implies to me that they're going to be keeping an eye on the game and, consistently updating... Mm-hmm. Not the code or anything like that, but just that they will keep an eye on what's going on day to day, because you need somebody there doing that.
Right.
So what I really hope is that, as this was an idea from a couple people on Twitter, that they tie it in some way to big tournaments. I think that'd be super cool.
Ooh.
Like somebody was like, okay, so Snake Eyes just won final round. Whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
You think that's so easy? Okay, go online and get 8 pile drivers, right? So, something like that. I just think that will be super cool.
Right.
And just a way to, engage players and also tell them about the competitive side of things and all this stuff. I really feel like it could be together. Obviously, that's complete speculation, but that sounds like it would be really great. So I like the potential of that idea, but of course we'll have to see how they actually do it.
And they can also put in some really detailed stuff if they want. It would be cool if they had different levels. Like level 1 would be land 8 Hadoukens, and then 2 would be land 5 reversal wake up uppercuts, and then the last one would be like combo fireball into super 3 times, or or something like that. Like make it difficulty levels, right? Or like catch someone, or like Dhalsim, for example. All right, like win 5 rounds with over 50% life, just to see how easy it is to keep people out and such like that. It'd be really interesting if they did stuff like that. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, they did say that you can level up individual characters, so maybe there's something like that as far as character basis goes. I wonder if it'll be like Hearthstone, where you can sort of like re-roll your
interesting,
and there are different sort of payouts for fight money, I guess, depending on which ones you do. And
now here's the question.
Maybe sort of everybody has to play Ryu that day in order to get it. I don't know.
I was talking to one of my friends, and he says this sounds like the worst idea ever. And I was like, really? Yeah. This sounds really cool. He's like, now it just feels like it's my job. Like, go here. Here's my grind. I'm gonna do this thing for today, and then the next day keep doing it. And he's like, that's gonna be boring, right? And I was like, well, I mean, it'll teach you how to do things, because when you play people online, you're kind of forced to try to do things you could teach people, right? And he's like, you think it's going to be forced online? And I was like, huh. I was like, if it's not forced online, it's really stupid, because then you just put computer to level 1 and you can rank up all day, right? It would be super easy to do everything.
Right.
And then he was like, well, why don't you just play with your friend online and then you can game the system that way? Then it came down to, is it only going to be ranked match then?
Maybe.
So that it might end up becoming ranked match goals or something like that. But then if that's the case, it's going to be kind of weird, because then if it's like land 8 Hadoukens, you're going to end up with like 100 people using Ryu throwing fireballs that day. Right,
exactly. Well, I mean, again, it could be sort of like how Hearthstone does it. And I remember that the people in Capcom were playing a ton of that game, because I remember hanging out with Combo Fiend and Matt D.
It was when DeCapre was announced.
Exactly, yeah. So it was the final round where they had DeCapre, and they let us play with her for like an hour before we were going to commentate a match, so that we wouldn't be totally clueless. And while we're up there, James and I were playing with DeCapre. And they were just talking about Hearthstone.
They were playing against each other in Hearthstone. Yeah.
And Matt was going on about how Combo Fiend is like the best. Even at Hearthstone, yeah.
He's probably cheap in that game.
He probably is.
You know what? He probably doesn't stop hitting buttons in that game too.
He probably doesn't. Jeez. Anyway, so they're gonna know all about that stuff, and I hope that they don't make it stupid, that it's like just ranked and that it's some stupid stuff to do. But like in Hearthstone, you can apply it to the different forms. Right. It can be arena, or it can be whatever.
A lot of people have been mentioning that like MK has tried to do stuff like this, or KI has tried to do stuff like this. So it might not necessarily be all that revolutionary, but I don't know.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Like some people are saying that MKX did stuff like this, or KI tried to do stuff like this.
That's true. And by the way, MK had some success at it. I know that they released some data about how many people had played, and it was like in the millions.
Oh, okay.
It's just that the online is garbage, so it didn't keep up. If MKX's online play was great, you don't think I would be like grinding it out every day to like get whatever it is? Right. Of course I would. Like, I want to play that game online. Give me an excuse to do it, but I can't, because it's the worst. So that's the only downfall for that game. It had a lot of cool ideas. So if this game has a lot of cool ideas and the online play isn't the worst since KOF 13, then that's fantastic.
Yeah. Someone actually asked me as well, like, do you think Street Fighter V will be a big success, like compared to Street Fighter 4? Because Street Fighter 4, there was obviously a bunch of years before it came out, and so a lot of people were like, oh my god, a new Street Fighter. But now we've just had like 6 years of Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5's coming out, right? And I basically was like, just depends on the online code.
That is a big part. It's
really going to be one of the biggest parts of it. So.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. But it's cool that they're running all these betas. I'm hoping they're finding a lot of good data on this, so and getting a lot of good tests on it. So, but yeah, I think the points thing is cool, Because another thing, too, is you really honestly don't have to do it. So if you're busy all the weekdays and the best you can do is sit down and maybe play Street Fighter V for like 5 hours on the weekend, maybe that'll get you as many points as if you had no time. And then, of course, there's always the I really don't have time because I'm working my ass off option.
Yeah.
Well, then you can pay actual money for Zenny, which then you can use that to buy actual content in the game.
At this point, I'm fine with it. I've become inured to it because it's like what everybody does.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just whatever, if they can make money doing that, then that's cool.
It's kind of interesting because like there are some games these days that I play because I am kind of old and I don't have as much time to play. Like let's say they came out with a new F-Zero, right? And it's like here's 6 cars and there's another 50 cars that you have to unlock. Even Mario Kart does that. You have to beat these things to unlock and everything. Sometimes I'm just like, you know what? I don't have time to do this.
Oh, yeah, right.
I just want this now. So, you know what? I want to be lazy and I want to just, here's money. Please let me unlock everything, right? Yeah. They talked about that for Smash Brothers. Like, here, I'm just going to give you $5, all of the customs. Please, don't make me do this garbage in there, right? I think it's a valid option.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Valid option as well.
It's cool, man.
Yeah. Docu man, that hurts me just as much as it hurts you, dude. Seriously.
What's that?
He says Nintendo won't release a new F-Zero. That hurts me just as much, dude. Knowing that might be true. That's really depressing.
It's been a while. So.
Yeah. Zenny is actually the money that's been in all Capcom games. In a lot of Capcom games, when you killed things and they dropped coins and you picked up coins for points, they were just called Zenny.
Really?
Yeah, it's just it's one of their terms that they've just used throughout a lot of Capcom games, old Capcom games.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was the couple announcements, the 6 new characters. Of course, like I said, people are all speculating what Alex, Urian, Ibuki, or something like that because of the kunai.
Yeah, people are saying Jury. I've heard some Akuma for the one that looks like it's hooded.
The one on the very right that has the hand like this.
Yeah.
Like, I can't help but think that's Honda, except the head looks bald. Because the hand is very
What's
Honda.
the problem with his head being bald?
Yeah, I know.
Dhalsim has a beard, man.
He could be shaved. I know, seriously.
Maybe he lost his hair. He's an older man now.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I don't... It's not super important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been saying this the whole time. I didn't really care about getting Zangief or Dhalsim or whoever else. I just wanted those play styles.
Yeah.
So whichever characters they end up coming out with is probably cool with me as long as the play styles are interesting.
Okay.
Which I expect that they will be because so far they mostly have been.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly. Mostly.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. We'll find something interesting with you, I swear. Oh, man.
Well, anyway, you want to take a break?
Take a break, yeah. I mean, was there any... Hang on a second. There was a few more things about Street Fighter.
We definitely wanted to talk about mashiness in Street Fighter V.
Yeah, we'll get that. That's a whole different topic.
That is
but
definitely
there is
a different
something
topic.
I wanted... There was a few more Street Fighter things that are... So, launching February 16th, Dhalsim was announced. The level up characters' daily goals. Oh, that's right. We don't know much about this because we both just heard about this ourselves.
Yeah.
But apparently Sony is starting something called the PlayStation Plus League. And Ultra Street Fighter 4 and Mortal Kombat X are going to start with it. And I don't know what that means.
Well, it looks like SFA has a spiel on it.
So let's see. So Sony has announced a new online esports platform called PlayStation Plus League. I'm going to do this in reporter voice.
You should. It's about esports.
This system, which was first detailed in a post on the French PlayStation blog last week being a link, will allow top players to earn money based on their performance in select PlayStation 4 games. The lineup includes 2 fighting games, Ultra Street Fighter 4 and Mortal Kombat X. The league itself is divided into 8 seasons a year, with each season lasting 4 weeks. Meanwhile, league players will be grouped into divisions, the upper gold division and the lower silver division. At the end of each season, the top 11 players from the silver division will get promoted to the gold division, while the bottom 11 from the upper league will be demoted. Sorry, did I totally spit on you?
No, continue.
Okay. Racing game Project Cars already has a website detailing the prize pool of these divisions. The gold and silver leagues will have monthly prize pools of £150. Or is that pounds? Or is that yet? No. What is that?
I can't see anything.
$166 US and
that's euros.
$55 US respectively Whether or not this applies to other games is as of yet unknown. Further details regarding PlayStation Plus League, including whether or not it's exclusive to Europe, are expected to be provided during the ongoing Paris Games Week. The event will also serve as a host for the league's first finals, where a prize pool worth more than $22,000 is at stake.
That was the whole thing, huh?
That was the whole thing. Yeah, that was the whole thing.
I'm not very good at retaining information when it's said in that voice.
Dude, I have no idea what I said.
Yeah, I don't know anything about what you said. I'm sorry. Cleaning my glasses and stuff. Anyway, for people who heard about it, that sounds cool.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was the other news.
Might be exclusive to Europe. I guess we'll see so far. Yada yada.
Okay.
Anyway.
We can take a break now. When we come back, a topic that I talked about on Twitter, and then I saw like 4 other people mention it on Twitter as well, is whether or not the mashing jabs in Street Fighter is too good, or if like there's no meaty games and it's like impossible to land meaties and stuff. So I just kind of wanted to address that a little bit when we come back.
Before we go, I just thought a very interesting point was brought up by Evening Star on Twitter, who says that we mentioned Dhalsim's new-looking stance, but Evening Star says that he's using the traditional stance of Shiva in Hindu mythology. The stance is known as the Tandava and is Shiva's dance of death. And Evening Star says his family's Indian immigrants. So it's like
okay. Well,
knowledge.
I mean,
so like Capcom might have actually done some research about it. That's cool, but like not what I would expect from Capcom in any way, but awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what I kind of meant, like the way he looks more authentic, like Vega. You know what I mean? Vega kind of has this authentic thing to it, but this is the same.
Like a real Spanish ninja matador.
Right, exactly.
Like a real one.
I still say, and a lot of people, dude, he was never a bullfighter. Like, I hate the fact that they list him as a bull. He was a high ally player. Any case.
That's even more random. Do you think it was a high ally thing?
Yeah,
and then he turned it into a claw?
And apparently high ally players used to wear sashes. They also spring off of
true.
walls when they grab the balls and they throw them and
that
stuff
makes
like
total
that.
sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. And so when I first saw him, I was like, he's a high ally player.
Really? When you first saw him?
Not when I first saw him, obviously, but I forgot what it was. I forgot what it was that made me think that he was like a high ally player. Okay. And that's also a popular sport in Spain.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Right? Really, so there you go. Anyways. Any case.
Anyway, let's take a break. We'll talk about mashiness and SF5 when we come back.
All right. Be right back.